What is up, my RuneScape investors? Today, the new death mechanics the OSRS team has been teasing for a while were finally dropped into the game. This kind of came out of nowhere in my opinion, but I wanted to talk to you guys about the best item investments and the items I think will increase or decrease in price due to this update. The items that I'm going to talk about in this video, in my opinion, will increase or decrease in price due to the more punishing death mechanics that have been introduced. We're not going to talk specifically on how the new death mechanics work, but if you do want to read up on them, I've left a link in the description to the official Old School RuneScape website where you can read in a detailed post about them. Anyway, if you enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like, and a quick shout out to Nick TFT within my Discord group who gave me the idea for this video. As always, these are my personal investment ideas, and I am not responsible for any gains or losses to your cash stack if you so choose to invest on this advice. Okay, let's discuss some investments. The first one that I thought of off the top of my head is the Zulrah scales and items. Previously, before this update, Zulrah was a completely safe boss where you could retrieve your items for free if you died. Now, you're going to have to pay a fee if you die, making it similar to a boss like Vorkath or even the Nightmare. And because of this, I see Zulrah items increasing in the long term as less people will be inclined to do Zulrah for money. In fact, it's already taking effect as we've seen the toxic blowpipes are up 500k this week on their price, and the Zulrah scales went on a 15 GP hike this week. All really good signs for investors looking to get into this item for the long term. The reason Vorkath items will experience no significant change in price is because the death mechanics for Vorkath have remained exactly the same as they were before, so there's not going to be any changes on that. Another group of items which I really believe to be a good investment for the long term would be Cerberus related drops. So Primordial boots, Pegasian boots, and even Eternal boots I can see increasing significantly in price within the future. And some of you might be asking, but why Cerberus? Well, Cerberus is an extremely punishing boss where death, even for experienced players, can happen, and with a 91 Slayer requirement attached to the boss, it's already uncommon for the average player to even have access to him. I think due to the new death penalty and the associated fees that belong with it, less players are going to be inclined to actually do a Cerberus task in the future, which is going to create a shortage of supply within the marketplace, driving demand for the boots. Lots of upside potential on these, but as always, I recommend doing your own analysis on these items and not just taking my word for it. If you want to check out a great site where you can do some item analysis, you can use my link in the description below and check out GE Tracker and take a look for yourself. While there is definitely going to be some items that will increase in price due to the new death mechanics, let's talk about some items which I think will decrease in price from their current state in the long term. The most obvious one that came to my mind when I immediately thought about this was Raids 1 and Raids 2 and all of the high-end PVM gear that's associated with it. So Kodai wands, ancestral robes, prayer scrolls, scythes, Avernix, everything in my opinion are all going to have a downside. And the reason this will happen is because Chambers of Xerix and Theater of Blood are still considered safe deaths and will cause the player no death tax if they actually die. When comparing raids to other bossing alternatives, I think more players are going to be inclined to spam raid runs, as if they die, it's not going to cost them any money, and they will still get a chance at landing an amazing drop, making them tons of profit, similar as if they were to go to a different boss and not a raid boss. This is going to lead to an overflow in supply of raid items and the eventual decrease in price. Finally, the last set of items that I actually expect to decrease in price is the Gauntlet drop table. So items like the Blade of Saildor and the Crystal Tool Seed, Weapon Seed, and Armor Seeds, I all expect to see a price drop in the long-term future. And again, you might be asking, why is this going to be the case? In my mind, it's a similar reason to why the Raids items will drop. The Gauntlet is still considered a safe death, where there is no death penalty for the player, and they don't even have to bring any gear into the Gauntlet to begin with, so it's not like they're risking anything. This will lead players that are actually looking to do other bosses towards the Gauntlet because it's a safer alternative method where they don't get taxed if they die, and they can still get a really good chance at getting some amazing lucrative loot. Do you think I'm spot on with the price movement of these items within the future? Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, don't forget, if you're learning how to flip or invest in old school RuneScape, be sure to check out my flipping and investing live streams where I coach players on how to flip on the Grand Exchange and use trading within the game to build ridiculously sizable cash stacks. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this one, and good luck making some bank.